This is Chris Dwayne Christensen. Now, the demons want to war against God and the Son of God, the local universe of Nebadon. The rebellion started by Lucifer. Here on Urantia, also known as Earth, the war continues. Now I, Chris Dwayne Christensen, am Christ Michael, Joshua ben Joseph. I also am named Weapon. I am the executioner of days. I have registered my business with the biz license as well as my government, Urantia Planetary Government. Okay, now, part of the war, the battle, no matter how it's disguised, is still a war. Now, I have engaged in battle since 9/11/2001 when they started their international terrorist agenda brought on by the United States of America, infiltrated by Germany and other foreign agencies. All right, so this, you have a form in your mind. This is a type of money. This is my money, my Urantia Nebadon Havana money notes. I have different versions. This is just one version. As I was explaining some of my new technology besides these types of actual monies and businesses connected to that, I wanted to show what type of technology besides that I'm actually making. It is not for the enemy. The enemy does not get any of my money. Now my items, what I do is I arm my graphics with commands. I load them with commands. My graphic arts, my programs, my operating systems, my software with my whole worldwide and universal computer systems is I initiate commands to take out the enemy. Now, what you're looking at here is in reference to a multi-track recorder. So what I do is I take and I wrap up a type of programmed media, also including money, and as I manufacture the media, I can read and write on that media. Okay, so as I write the codes and the graphics of money onto like a reel on a spool, and then of course I run it through the machine that I make, and I load it with certain amounts of money, and of course I archive it, and I load up a spool full of money and other types of programs. As you see, the beginning explanation is already published on my blog, published on YouTube. Okay, so as I continue, I want to let you know, as I am making a specialized technique for my version of monies and financial assets, tangible assets that has to do with my ownership of physical reality, such as my portion of time and space. Okay, like this local universe, up to 10 million inhabited planets, plus others that the Father, Son, and Spirit has given me, Michael of Nebadon. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain a little bit, not too much because obviously I don't want to reveal everything. But as you see, there are 8 tracks and a multi-track recorder, okay? There's 8 tracks. All right, now when those are translated from audio idea, 8-track recorder, people know about the 8-track and beyond, 16-track, even more. Okay, but when 8 tracks represents 8 bits is a byte, and then when you have the platform of operating system that is 32 bits and 64 bits, all right, let's say my RCA Cambio, it only had 32 gigabytes of space. Well, obviously they put a 32-bit operating system, that platform, but there's obviously the 64-bit operating system. Now, what I want to explain to you a little bit about electronics, because in my school of Magistone, and it's Angels Archway Education Center, Technical Trade School that I own and operate. As I am the engineer, chief engineer, I am the one that invents things. I'm the one that creates things, but I also explain it because it can get very, very complicated. So it's a step-by-step procedure. The best thing is to use references of stuff that we already have, other devices or technology that we already have, we've already been using, like audio recording. So when you see like a reel-to-reel recorder, okay, and there's the digital kind. So there's the digital kind that doesn't have the actual reel-to-reel tape, but the digital kind would be audio, okay, translated to digital, okay, conversion. It's conversion, audio, analog converted to digital, but it's an analog thing, but it's still audio. So analog audio, even analog video, okay, analog, before you turn it into digitals. So what I do is I take the analog of audio, but also I have other information strips and graphical strips, which is pictures, and of course video clips, just enough to where I set the stage of my original equipment manufacturer, me, the owner, okay? But I will always have audio and video tracks, one way or another, whether I use them or not in all of the spool, I will have audio and video tracks, okay? Film, okay? Film. Audio, film, all right? Movie and film industries, I have those companies too. All right, so what we're looking at is taking the 8-track idea. Now, if it's not just music, but I also have information. If I have information plus I have analog of audio, but then the audio is turned to digital, all right? Okay, then you're talking still, we're going to go back to the 8-track technology, so that, let's say if this was a piece of reel-to-reel tape, and this was actually there, and you put another one on the side of it, you could be running, of course, more tape, right? But because I set the original equipment manufacturer, what I do is I first start with basically a root. I root it as the owner. I am the owner. I am the original equipment manufacturer. Okay, so if you're talking electronics, and you have 8 tracks, but you have track 0, track 9, that's 10 tracks actually. But track 0 will be considered a ground for the purposes of electronics. As in, you need, let's see, let me get a media going on here. Let's see. All right, so if you go over here, and I took a picture of, I downloaded a picture of what is called a transistor. So NPN, so it's just negative, positive, negative, bipolar junction. Okay, so what you're looking at is track 0 is ground, and base being ground, base. Collector, see, you bring it in, so the collects, and then it emits. So input is the collector, E is the emitter, but base is ground. So it's an electronic circuit, so you got positive and negative, all right? So if base is negative or ground, we need to say ground right here, because I root the kernel, or I root the electronic circuit ground ways first. Like 210 South 3 Grant Street Business Center is a computer company, but it's also an address. All right, 210 South 3 Grant Street Business Center. Now that's located in Salt Lake City, Utah, 84101 zip code. But it's a dirt lot, right? It's ground. So track 0 being ground or negative. It's also based on the base is ground. So when you sit there and you go, well, the base is actually track 0B. That way track 1, you have an input stream. Track 2 through 8, you have an input and basically an output, because you're coming in here and then you can go and it's out here. Okay, this would be the emitter side if you want. So I could write sound. I could put sound on the tracks. I could put graphics like visual, like film, like movie, like film. I can put besides video and regular still graphics, I can put the audio, right? Sound tracks. But also I can put digital tracks, which is like the codes, like text or instructions that has to do with applications, software, like operating system. So as I'm using this to write an operating system, I start with the original electronic circuit that turns on the electronic circuit. So if I add power, boom, it shows up the actual information, at least tracks 1 through 8, and with the computer, you know there's 16-bit, and then of course there is actually 32-bit and 64-bit and so on. So what I do is I show my students my way, which is exclusive and original to me as the author owner. I'm the author and the owner. This is not open source, which means I am the owner and I don't let others write into my operating system. I don't let them hack in. They're not allowed to go into the computer's operating system. When I make it, they're not allowed in there to tamper with it. Nobody's allowed to make changes to my computer or to my operating system. Because there's a reason, because if you open up Pandora's box, guess who's jumping in? Your nearest thief, your closest hacker is going to want to know what he can tamper with when he want to talk about operating system or apps or computer, all that stuff. It's a no good scenario. So what I do is I close it up. I close it up with the first reel. The first reel, like I said, I got the reel to reel. So the first segment, the first snippet, the first part of my code, I close it up to my ownership. Got that? Me. I am the owner author. Nobody else is an author here. I am the only author. These entity numbers representing business numbers and what these businesses are basically registered to use for. Whether it's financial, legal, operating system, whatever, electronics. Like I own Christronics, that's also computer manufacturing, right? Also peripherals, right? But then I put a patent number there. Okay, I represent a gold coin. I got my copyright there, right? So anything at all, this is mine. Like this border with the stars here. That's my creation, my hand-drawn stars. Well, also this green money thing, that's emeralds that I cropped, and then of course I cropped the gold coin to make the gold tips. And this gold frame here, that's from the coin. I cropped it, made a frame. All right, so you can see I've been busy at work. But the main thing is I want you to know that the technology I represent is my technology. It's nobody else. This is my universe. Actually, all technology in this universe is actually mine. And they have stolen it, you know, when they rebelled, they stole so much stuff and bring it to planets, trying to use it to kill God, you know, murder God's children, and then trying to kill, you know, murder all creation itself. Yeah, that's Lucifer, Satan, and his followers. That's what they up to when they worship the devil. That's what they want to do, steal, kill, and destroy, just like the devil that they worship. All right, so then, as we're talking money, all right, we're talking actual money, we're talking my Rancho Nebuchadnezzar Havana money notes and my other types of money. But the technology is mine, exclusive to me. So as I get the understanding across to your mind and you comprehend 8 tracks and then the computer version. So 4 8s is 16 and then 2 of those is 32. So I put it in graphical display so you can understand how when I write the commands that those are my commands. It's not bringing up run command on a Windows or whatever. It's not Linux. It's not Apple. It's not Google. It's not Android. This is me. I am the creator. I am the owner. This is my type of computer language based on my inventions, my technology, my engineering, my platform, my format. Nobody else is allowed to make changes to my operating system or to my computers because I don't let people in, so therefore there won't be no hacking because I kick everybody out. I let nobody in. And even though I'm explaining to you, doesn't mean that it's going to work for you because obviously you have no clue. You got computer language on the planet like Java or C++, whatever you got, you know, Python, whatever. That I'm not using that type of language. I'm not using that computer language. I'm not using those computers. See, I make my own hardware. My own types of hardware. that hardware, my computer, when I actually feed my computer, when I finally make it, I feed it. Look what it's going to make sure that nobody else is the owner but me. When I feed it, the computer knows that I am the creator. The computer knows that nobody's supposed to be operating that computer unless I say so, unless I register you. Some people call it firmware, where I put the original equipment manufacturer, I put the hardware together, and firmware, I can go in there and write, if I want, like a club member. Maybe, see, if I recruit club members, and I put them through school, and they earn a certificate, basically a degree, and it's honesty, sincerity, that obviously they know they're not allowed to break the law with the computer. They have to, if they're going to use the computer, they're going to have to follow terms and conditions. They're going to have to follow my rules, my laws, when it comes to operating a computer in my universe and in our Father God's universe. You will do what we say, or you won't ever be able to use a computer again. I'm taking the stolen technology from this world. All right? All right, I just want to let you know we're still got the actual way to drop everybody else's technology. I will actually be using my, just what I have been, using my technology, my ability, supernatural or whatever, however you consider it, however you conceive of it, supernatural plus natural, I will be using my ingenuity to take out the bandits, the thieves, the murderers, the liars, all the sinners, iniquity, sorcery, drugs, anything against God. I will be using my holy, righteous businesses and all of my types of ingenuity implemented. I will be using it to take out that which you know as the dark world, the old world. I will be introducing my things as my ownership and securing my ownership. That means those that try to steal it, like they try to steal the initial versions or the stuff that I'm just using to explain as I'm putting it together piece by piece, but they want to steal that. Well, they're armed. You see that? Electronically armed. I am the owner. My devices have all me written in them, and the action that they need to do was defend my property. And so the graphics that go out, somebody wants to take it, they're basically taking a bomb, an armed weapon, a bomb, and they're blowing themselves up. Sooner or later they get blown up, and I don't have to be concerned about them anymore. All right, that's what I do. My name is Weapon, Christian Linkerson, Joshua Ben Joseph, Christ Michael. I'm also Execution of Days. I have many names. Woe to you if you're a thief, a liar, a murderer, a sorcerer, a witch, or a devil worshiper, or any of those sins of iniquity. Woe to you, for your time is short. And to all a good day, and to all a good night.